Hello, this is Sarah Braasch. Welcome back to my channel. So I just wanted to do a video about this UNC survey that's being passed around Twitter and social media, the University of North Carolina. So this UNC survey seems to indicate that the problem with ideological diversity, openness to different ideological viewpoints, different political viewpoints, particularly more conservative viewpoints on college campuses. The problem is not the faculty, the problem is the students. And that's what this survey seems to be indicating, and that's what the way most people seem to be interpreting what this survey is indicating. So, I just wanted to do a quick video about this because that very much aligns with my experience at Yale during the living or napping while black hate crime hoax. That very much aligns with my experience at Yale. So I found that the faculty at Yale were just wonderful and stood by my side and supported me and defended my right to have unorthodox views, defended my right to have civil libertarian views, defended my right to have views that stray even a hair from woke intersectional feminism dogma. The students were the ones, and the administration. The students and the administration and the police are the problem. Specifically, the students and the administration. They are the problem. They are the problem. At Yale, they are certainly the problem. At Yale, they are the ones that targeted me and ousted me for having unorthodox civil libertarian views that strayed even a hair from woke intersectional feminism dogma. That is absolutely my experience. That is absolutely my experience. So, of course, as I've spoken about over and over and over again, in spring 2015, I was socially ousted from the philosophy department by most of the other graduate students because I stood up for the federal civil rights, the religious expression rights of an evangelical black man who was our only person of color job candidate for a tenure-track assistant professor position. And my account of these events has been corroborated in both Jason Stanley's and Zoltan Szabo's character letters, which they wrote for me on my behalf after the Living or Napping While Black hate crime hoax in spring 2018. But they both address the events of spring 2015 and corroborate my account of those events. So at that time, I was socially ousted, socially ostracized, made a social pariah, and it was devastating to me. And that is why I had to seek assistance at the mental health clinic at the Student Health Center. And that is why I have a mental health history at Yale, which was exploited to great effect by my tormentors during the Living or Napping While Black hate crime hoax. But I was told later in summer of 2015 that these other graduate students had not been satisfied with merely socially ousting me from the department, that they went to the administration to try to have me expelled, and I was told that the faculty stood up for me, which is the reason why no disciplinary action was taken against me at that time. I absolutely believe, and then subsequent to that, I was widely known and despised across campus, and there's no doubt in my mind that this is the result of the other graduate students who socially ousted me from the philosophy department propagating across Yale's campus, which is actually a quite insular and intimate kind of environment, and rumors spread like wildfire across Yale's campus. And I have no doubt in my mind that they propagated the lie about me that I am an anti-LGBTQ bigot. I do not believe that it is unrelated that I subsequently experienced in a couple instances of harassment in Yale graduate student housing. I do not believe that these events are unrelated. I do believe that my notoriety after the spring 2015 events contributed in some way to the fact that I was experiencing these repeated instances of harassment in Yale graduate student housing. But also, I wanted to point out that at that time, the Yale faculty stood up for me, and then I believe that these events and everything that occurred, I believe that very much that this is the reason why in spring 2018, after the February 24th, 2018 incident, for which I was completely exonerated by the Yale housing managers, I believe that this group of Yale deans were just absolutely thrilled and were open to entertaining a completely outrageous and totally false and obviously false accusation that I had perpetrated a racist hate crime comparable to a lynching made by Lalata Siambola and Jean-Louis Redison. And I believe that this group of Yale deans were absolutely thrilled to entertain this completely and obviously false accusation against me because they were looking to expel me. And so this seemed like a perfect reason, a perfect excuse to get rid of me, which they've wanted to do since spring 2015. So, and I also believe this is why they made a decision to assist my tormentors and to participate in the Living or Napping While Black hate crime hoax. And then subsequent to May 8th, 2018, they made a decision. I absolutely believe the Yale administration made a decision to lie about me and to destroy me, to cover up their wrongdoing, and their complicity in the Living or Napping While Black hate crime hoax at Yale. I think all of this aligns perfectly with what is indicated by that UNC survey, which is that the problem is the students, and the problem I also experienced the administration being the problem in terms of militant rejection of ideological and political diversity on college campuses. And I do want to point out, which is a note I made on Twitter tonight or yesterday, which is that when I'm talking about how the problem is not the faculty, I am talking specifically about Yale faculty. They, by and large, stood up for me and fought tirelessly to save me. And in fact, Yale's General Counsel commented to my then attorney saying that they were absolutely shocked at the way that the Yale faculty fought tirelessly to save me. But I do think that the larger philosophy academic community, especially online, and the larger academic community in general have a lot of explaining to do in terms of how they did not hesitate for 1 second to join the global vilification campaign against me. Now, this doesn't include Yale faculty across the board because, of course, I was defamed, and Roxane Gay, who was awarded, I don't think this is coincidence, a visiting professorship by Yale President Peter Salovey after she helped to, lead the global vilification campaign against me to destroy me. She obviously, she had to know that I was completely innocent as well. She knows so many people in academia who know me personally and closely. She could have easily called, I know she knows my advisor, Jason Stanley. She could have easily called Jason Stanley to confirm that I would never in a million years engage in racist behavior. So that is obviously an exception. Another very clear exception is Yale sociologist Elijah Anderson. He is someone who writes about the policing of black and brown bodies in what he calls white space. And so he had an absolute heyday with the Living or Napping While Black hate crime hoax at Yale, and he spent most of 2018 bashing and trashing me, and he was subsequently awarded, and I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that this is unrelated, he was subsequently awarded by Yale President Peter Salovey with a Sterling Professorship, which is the highest honor a Yale professor can receive. And it includes a not insignificant monetary award. It's 2018. 2018 and 2019 were banner years for people who were willing to endanger the life and destroy the career of an entirely innocent human and civil rights licensed attorney activist for moral outrage, industry, profit, and gain, as long as you were willing to sell your soul. As long as you were willing to sell your soul to Lucifer himself, then 2018 and 2019 was an excellent year for you. It was a bumper crop year for you. So 2020 is going to be a different story, but we'll discuss that in another video. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about how my experience at Yale during the Living or Napping While Black hate crime hoax aligns really perfectly with this, what is indicated by this UNC survey, which is that the problem by and large in terms of resistance to ideological diversity, political diversity, especially from the conservative side of the political spectrum on college campuses, the problem is not the faculty, the problem is the administrations and the student bodies. And that has absolutely been my experience as well. So I just wanted to do a video about that, okay? I have a bunch of links below, my PayPal me, my GoFundMe. I love you all so much. Support me, subscribe, like, share, comment, and donate to my legal fund so we can stop this nonsense. We are going to get through this moment of cultural insanity together. Okay, have a great night.